Hey guys, I don't have shit to post, so I'm gonna give in. I'm gonna give in to the question that's been dreading me, because everybody on TikTok has been asking me for the past a year, over. Yeah, so welcome to the tattoo tour of Sonicos. I actually have 32 tattoos, but I'm not gonna show you all of them for certain reasons, such as I just don't fucking want to. Okay. This is not the perfect attire to show you that because most of them are on my legs. But yeah, let's just start off with the ones that are the easiest to show. I have this little star thing on my finger. Don't really know why, I just kind of wanted a tattoo on my finger and that was like the easiest thing to do, so I did that. And then if you flip my arm over and it looks crooked, but I promise it's not, it's just because your skin turns around on your arm. I have a little flower and it's actually not so little. It's probably one of my biggest tattoos that I have, so it's actually not so little. And then if we move on to my shoulder, we have a random star that I don't know where it came from and I don't know what was the idea behind it, the thought process, whatever could have been behind it, I don't necessarily know. Diary of a Wimp Kid. Boohoo, bitch. I don't know what to tell you. And then Peep, of course, because, well, it's me. And, like, if you've ever spoken to me once in your life, he's literally behind me. Hey. Hey. Yeah. Listen, I'm editing the video right now, and I don't know why the fuck I'm talking so quietly throughout the entire thing. So I'm really, really sorry. I'm really sorry that I'm not enthusiastic. Well, I just woke up like 30 minutes before I started recording it, so that's in my defense, but I'm sorry that I'm not enthusiastic whatsoever throughout the entire thing. For the fact that I only have 32, okay, well, 32 tattoos is quite a fucking lot, especially because I'm a minor. But for the fact that I have 32, a big amount of them have to do something with Lil Peep. Actually. And see, at least I stopped myself from getting tattoos to artists that I like right now because, like, what if next month turns out they're all predators? You know, chances are big because every single content creator I've ever liked turned out to be a predator. Or some other thing like that. So, you know, the chances of me just being a bad omen are very high, so I don't want to get that. But the thing is, Lil Peep died in 2017. It's 2025. I think if something was bound to happen, it would have already happened, and I would already get to know about it. So, I think I'm fine with the Peep tattoos. Okay, let me move on real quick. I have a flower on my ribs. That's actually quite crooked, and quite shittily done, but we move on. I need to stand up on my chair for it, and then I also have a star down here. Jesus, that was tiring. I think I need to get you down a little bit because I don't want to be standing up to show you all of my tattoos. That's a bit weird. Okay, to start off with my right leg, I have a weird little jester. I don't know. And then we have two people kissing. I would say those are like demon kids. I'm not entirely sure. Well, I did all my tattoos by myself, so like they don't have any like deep meaning behind them. It was just I saw something that I liked and put it on my skin and it's gonna stay there forever. Dumb thing to do. Don't do that, okay? I don't condone that. And then on this leg I have quite a lot fucking more. Let me get you down so I can actually like show you better. Here we have Hello Kitty, which I need to like fix up her eyes because her eyes look weird. Then we have Depressed Bart Simpson, which I had a friend last year that every time we talked I would tell them, oh hey, do you want to see my Bart Simpson tattoo? And it doesn't sound that funny, but like they got really pissed at that because every time they would speak to me I would mention the Bart Simpson tattoo. And it doesn't seem that funny, but I promise it was, okay? I might have a really bad sense of humor, but it was funny. What else do I have? I also have a bat. Yeah, that's really all I've got to say. And then I've got a bunny, and the bunny is actually one of the 2 tattoos that I have that I didn't do myself. Hey, I'm back at the webcam. I just noticed, okay, I need to stand up on my chair, so like, sorry, I guess. But I just noticed that I didn't show you, hold on, where is it? This one, which is a Care Bear. I liked watching the Care Bears when I was younger, and that's probably one of my best done tattoos, actually. Because you can actually tell what it is, and it doesn't look weird. So that's probably one of my favorites, because it's just done like one of the best ones, you know? Thank you. I'm gonna change it to shorts real quick so I can show you the rest of my tattoos. Never mind, guys, I can't seem to find a single pair of shorts. Yeah, what the fuck is going on? Where do I live? Why don't I have a singular pair of shorts? I mean, I know I don't wear them, but I should at least, like, have one. Okay, so to move on, I don't have a lot on this leg for whatever reason. To start off, here I have a Playboy logo. And everybody tells me that I'm gonna regret it, but I actually think I quite fucking like it, and I mean, the worst thing that can happen is that I need to remove the covered with something else when I'm older. That's it. And then, of course, I have the Cry Later, which, actually, is one of my Lil Peep tattoos, because my other niece has Love Now, and it's a play on the song Skyscrapers, which lyrics go, love now, cry later, it hurts. And then we have a couple stars here, which are an unfinished tattoo, but I don't remember what that fuck that was meant to be. Then we have an outline of a woman, because I'm very creative with what I put on myself for the rest of my life. A Monster High logo, because Monster High was one of my favorite things to watch as a kid, and it's still really sick. I didn't do that count myself. One time when I was just starting out giving myself tattoos, I invited 2 people over. One of them did the bunny, and the other one did this. And I don't talk to either of them anymore, but you know what, we move on. And then I seem to have a big liking for having bunnies on my skin. And a star, and that star, I don't usually remember how I got my tattoos, but this one I remember. I got it while watching American Horror Story Murder House, and I was actually rewatching that for like the millionth time, actually. Yeah, I don't seem to watch any new things. And then if I go further, we have vampire teeth, which, one of my favorite tattoos. I just think it's a bit of an angle, but that's like fine. I don't know what I'm gonna do. And Ghost Girl, which is another play on a Lil Peep song, called, you guessed it, Ghost Girl. Wow, so creative. I don't know why everybody always wants me to do a tattoo tour, because there isn't any deep meaning behind any of them, except for the fact that, oh, I didn't do a couple of these, and then some of those are like a reference to Lil Peep, and then the rest is just kind of there because I liked how they looked. I don't know why everybody thinks that there's gonna be like a lot of reasoning and everything behind it. There's really not. I don't know what to expect. I'm like the most boring person ever. There's not gonna be any reasoning behind it. While we're at it, I'll also give you a piercing tour, because that's also something I'm asked to do a lot. I think it was for my 7th birthday that my dad took me to get my ears pierced, and then like 6 months later, or a year later, something along those lines, turns out you're not meant to actually pierce your ears with a piercing gun, and they got infected, so I had to take him out. Okay, alright, we move on. Then in 2021, I'm sitting here playing with a bobby pin because I want to see if my ear closed up. Turns out this one didn't. So for approximately 2 years? 2.5 years? I only wore one earring, and then at the end of 2023, my dad pierced my other ear, well, re-pierced it. And then ever since then, I've been giving myself my 2nd and 3rd and 4th lobes and whatever, but I always take him out because, first of all, they never heal for some fucking reason. I can heal all of that, but I can't heal my ears. Second of all, it hurts. Third of all, they're always crooked. So let me just like sum up all that I've just said by saying I currently have 9 piercings in. But I was pierced about 27 times because I re-pierced my ears a bajillion times. Whatever. I think it was May 2024 that I hit up my friend and I'm like, hey, I want to pierce my septum, because I've been asking my mum for a septum since 2021 and she never agreed for it, quite frankly. But I was just tired of waiting, so I hit up my friend, she pierces my septum, and I'm happy. Hey, I also want to say that ever since then, I have been telling my mum that I pierced it myself, and my mum watches my videos, so, hey mum, I didn't actually pierce it myself, my friend pierced it, but I knew you're gonna hate her, so I never told you that, but now you get to know that because I said it here. So I didn't actually pierce it myself, I tried to multiple times, but I was always too much of a pussy, so I never pierced it myself. My friend pierced it in the end. I only ever got to the bleeding bit
and never far. I'm sorry I lied.
The next day I go to school, because whenever I do something bad, I never tell my mum in person. I always just wait until she's not there so that I can tell her and then she can process it, so then she can't be mad at me. So what I did is I get my septum pierced and I flip it up immediately. Next morning I go to school. I know, surprising, I went to school. I go to school, I'm walking down the corridor, first period, I message my mum, "Hey mum, so I have a septum now," and I sent her a picture, and she wasn't necessarily too mad, but for a very long time she did keep on insisting that it's very ugly. So yeah, but like I don't think it mattered that much, because next month for my birthday she let me get my nostril pierced. Although my reasoning for a septum was I think it's cute, and my reasoning for a nostril was, hey, so my favorite artist for the past 4 years has been Lil Peep, and he had that piercing, so maybe, you know, you might want to let me get it, because I'll be very happy and I'll be very appreciative if you could let me get that. So I did, a month after my septum. After 3 years of begging for a septum, she never agreed, but a month begging for a nostril, and she did.
The amount of times I'm showing up like while editing in this video is actually fucking insane, because I never do that. But I think that mostly when my mom did let me get all of those piercings and she actually agreed and took me to a professional piercer was because she knew that if she doesn't let me, I will just get them without her consent. And it's either going to be my friend piercing it, or I'll pierce it myself, or maybe I'll go to that one unlicensed piercer that you're going to hear about like in a couple minutes into the video. So I think that it was mostly because she was just scared that I will get it anyway. So she just wanted me to get it safe. I mean, it did work.
So then I got my nostril, which I've just recently changed to like a really tiny one. Doesn't matter. And then I kept piercing my ears for a very long time, and I'm pretty sure it was August 2024 that I hit up my friend and I'm like, hey, triple vertical helix, you know? And I'm too much of a pussy to pierce it myself. Do you want to pierce it for me? Because I don't have the money to go do a piercing, or so my mom won't let me. So like, do you want to pierce it for me? She's like, sure, hell yeah. So I show up to her house. She pierces my ear. 2 on the first day, 3rd one on the 2nd day, because I was a bit of a pussy. And you know what? One of my favourite piercings I've had. They're really sick, although you couldn't see them because of my hair. They did hurt like a fucking bitch. They did bleed everywhere. That was a complete fucking pain to wash my hair, to brush my hair, to wear headphones, to do anything, quite frankly. I could not do shit with those. And you know, back then I still streamed daily. So I figured, you know, I'm just gonna put one of the headphones behind my ear. That way it can't hit the actual piercings on top of it. So I do that, right? And I'm not a person who sits straight up at a chair, ever. My legs never touch the floor. They're always either on my desk or on my chair or on my bed, on something, right? I'm never sitting up straight. So I put my hands down to fix myself up a little bit, and you know what? My hand landed on the cable of my headphones, so the headphones got dragged to my ear. And it was the day I got the piercing. It was the day I got the piercing. It hurt so fucking badly. You wouldn't even understand. You wouldn't even understand the pain that I experienced for that. Jesus fucking Christ, right? Okay, alright. I've got my little ear piercings that I did eventually take out. I don't have any of them anymore, as you can tell. I have my septum, I have my nostril. I'm quite happy with how it is, actually. You know, yeah. And then I start begging my mum for snake bites. But you know, it's like the end of 2024. She doesn't want me getting snake bites, quite frankly. So then eventually we decide on, you know, I just really want the other nostril. So it's even, symmetrical and everything. So I get my other nostril pierced at like middle of December 2024, something like that. Okay, alright, perfect. The second I get my nostril pierced, I keep begging my mum for snake bites. Every single day of my life, I come up to her and I'm like, Mother, snake bites. They're so gorgeous, aren't they? I wish I could have them. It would make me the happiest kid in the world. But no, she never agreed for them. That's why I only have one. Okay, let me get to that point. Mid-February 2025, I show up to my mum and I'm like, hey mum, okay, so you don't want me getting snake bites, and I'll stop talking about snake bites if you let me get my tongue pierced. I know, bit of a weird, like, little example here, I know, okay, but hear me out. You won't see it as much. It's the most fastest healing piercing that there is, you know. There is no cons, only pros. I think you should let me get it. Eventually, she lets me get the piercing, okay? I get the piercing. But you know what? Everybody says the piercing doesn't hurt, but the healing process is really bad. you're going to cry out of pain. You're not going to be able to eat, drink, sleep, anything. Quite frankly, I got a lisp, but I think sometimes I still talk with a lisp, although I don't have one. So I don't think it was because of the tongue piercing, but whatever. The only thing about the tongue piercing that I will say, I agree with all the people that have been talking about it on TikTok and scaring the shit out of me, is that it does feel weird. Like, you need to relearn how to use your tongue. And also, I have an original experience with my tongue piercing, right? I've asked people, I've looked it up, I've searched the web, I've searched everywhere, I've asked everyone that I know with a tongue piercing. No one has had the same experience as me, which the experience that I have had is the fact that ever since I got my tongue pierced, everything I can possibly drink or eat will stain my tongue. No matter if I'm drinking milk, okay, my tongue is gonna be white. Drinking something green, my tongue's gonna be green. Purple, oh yeah, you guessed it, purple. I drink Coke and then my tongue goes all brown. And I don't know a single other person with that same experience. That's an original experience with the tongue piercing. So the chances of you getting that, quite low, okay? I'm just saying. Okay, I get my tongue pierced. A week later, I'm going to see Tracy. I scream my lungs out, which apparently you're not meant to do with a fresh tongue piercing. Allegedly, mine healed. So, like, I think we're fine. All right. Okay, but I have my tongue pierced. I see Tracy on the 28th of February. My mom's birthday's on the 13th of March. Guess what I convinced her to do on the 12th of March? Let me get my little side labra pierced. So I get it done on her birthday, actually. It was like her birthday gift. Do you get what I mean? So, yeah. 13th of March, I get my side labra, like 2 weeks after my tongue. And I was all fine, you know. My tongue has definitely not healed by that time, but it felt fine enough, okay? It felt fine enough to get it, so I got it and it's all fine. But then there's another piercing that I want. You know, there's another one that I want that I've still not mentioned to you, and you might have already noticed that I have it, okay? So, what I really want is a bridge piercing. It's so cute. It looks so good on everyone, right? So 2 weeks after getting my lip pierced, I show up to a piercer, the same one that's pierced my tongue. I show up to her, and I'm like, hey, I want my bridge pierced. The thing with that piercer is, I'm not entirely sure she's licensed. I think she's just experienced. Because every single piercing she's given me is crooked. So, and I've gotten 3. So I'm not entirely sure if she's licensed. But it's like, fine, I'm not gonna sue you. Like, you're the only piercer that didn't need my mom's, like, note that she agrees with the piercing, so, you know, I'll take that. So my mom doesn't know. When I'm showing up to the piercer, and I'm like, hey, I want my bridge pierced. I get my bridge pierced. And I don't know if you can tell, hold on, let me get some better lighting in here. I don't know if you can tell, but my bridge is really, really crooked, and also still not fully healed for some fucking reason. I don't know. Apparently it takes ages to heal, and true, it does. I used to have a little spot on this side, and then it changed onto this side. But then also, 2 days after getting it done, I did take it out and I started bleeding everywhere, so half of my room was covered in blood. Might be my fault. Might be my fault. But it was pierced crooked, so that's not my fault. I mean, I did put it back in after I saw how much it was bleeding. Yeah, I don't think there is a single piercing that I've had that I've kept for the appropriate amount of time. Like my septum, 4 days. My nostril, a month. Into a hoop. My bridge, 2 days. My tongue, a week. My lip, like 2 weeks. The only piercing I do have that I kept for the appropriate amount of time without changing is my belly piercing that I got 2 weeks after my bridge. And the only reason to have still not changed it is, first of all, it's still not healed. And it still hurts, and it keeps getting cold and everything, so that's not helping. Second of all, I physically can't. I've tried. Trust me. I've had it for months. I've tried. I physically cannot unscrew it. I've tried gloves, I've tried rubber bands, I've tried everything. This bitch will not budge. So I guess I'm stuck with it. And I have so many cute ones. I mean, it's not like anyone's gonna see them. Like, I genuinely, that's how I dress. Nobody's ever gonna see that I have a belly piercing. But I could just wear a cute one for myself. And I can't, because I can't unscrew it. Quite frankly, all of my tattoos are shit. I mean, I like them, but that's up to opinions. They are objectively badly done, because I did them myself. Unexperienced, with a cheap needle, with cheap ink. So I'm really surprised that I'm not dead. Like, ink poisoning type shit. So, objectively, they are all really bad. And as for my piercings, I've gotten them all in, like, a really small amount of time. Like, also, my septum used to be stretched to a 3mm. Where is that gone? Because it used to be massive. I just one day decided, hey, so it's taking like a long time, and I don't even really want to stretch septum because I just don't really want one. So why would I even do that? So I downsize. So that's why it fucking floops everywhere whenever I move. But I'm fine with that, you know, we move on. We move on, okay? It's fine. I've not got much, like, experience with anything. Half of my piercings are still not healed, including my bridge and my belly. So, I'm not really one to, like, give you advice. And also, don't do your tattoos yourself, okay? I know I'm a bad example, because, like, 3 videos ago I said, hey, so I just got that one. Yeah, I know, okay, I'm a bad example. But you shouldn't be listening. I should not be a role model. You should listen to me when I tell you that I shouldn't be a role model, and you should listen to me when I tell you not to do something that I've done that I know is bad, okay? Because when I do something and I know is bad, that means it's really bad, okay? I don't often, like, really come to realizations that what I'm doing is wrong. Even if I ever want to get back to being basic, that bridge scar will stay. Most of my piercings will stay as a scar. All of my tattoos will stay. So, I mean, at least I'll never turn into a chav, am I right? I'll see you all in a couple days. Bye bye.